Before I play what I'm gonna play, yeah. What do you know about? Do you know about this soundtrack? Listen. Wait. Pause. This, you know, when I played, bro. When I got to the upper part of, I think it was, what sector was it? I think it was like sector 6 or something, bro. When I got to the upper part, like basically you do the motorcycle chase part. You know, you do the chase. You beat the soldier, and then you know you get to the top of the plate where Jesse's family live, and then you just get there and you just see the beautiful scenes, and then this shit just kicks in. That's when I realised that what we're about to witness is a true remake, true masterpiece. Like, swear. You know what, yeah? It's such a shame that I wasn't active on this channel, like, generally, because I made this channel about a year ago, so I really could have covered some Final Fantasy in the meantime, but I didn't, because we had Crisis Core come out, we had when Crisis Core came out, and there's something else. I think Integrate came out as well. I really could have covered it. I don't know why I didn't. But we're back. Yeah, we're here now to cover all things games and especially Final Fantasy, because I have such a personal connection to Final Fantasy. Look at my name, for fuck's sake. My name is Strife. Yeah, Strife. Like, it doesn't get any deeper than that. You know, some people ask me, oh, what does Strife mean? Why is that your name? Bro, this is the reason why. Do you know what? There's a funny story behind it, but that doesn't matter. I didn't actually name myself Strife because of Cloud, but it was a funnier story. I mean, it was kind of Cloud, but there was another reason. It's not the point. Bro, I'm here to talk Final Fantasy, and specifically, I'm here to talk Rebirth. My kind of topic is where will Rebirth end? I think that's a good talking point, because it will be a good idea to understand the pacing of the game and how much Rebirth is going to kind of cover, and so on and so forth. I think personally the game will start off at calm. I think it might start off with the cutscene of Cloud speaking about like the backstory between him and Sephiroth in Nibelheim, but at that point there might be like an introductory segment on how to play the game. So as he's explaining the story, because Cloud is still essentially, I mean, in his story, he's a first class soldier, like a new first class soldier. That might be a good way for them to explain how the game works, because his HP will be mad low, he won't have much spells, he might not even have any spells at all, and Sephiroth will be like the other member of the team that will be carrying everything. I think they'll let us control Sephiroth, so they'll show us how to play, but I think they'll show us how to play, but I'm not too sure if they're going to show us how to play as Sephiroth or as Cloud. I think it's going to be as Sephiroth, because even in the first trailer that they gave us, or the first reveal trailer, when you was walking through Nibelheim with Sephiroth's movement seemed quite linear, as in like he was walking in a straight line, whereas Cloud was hopping on all sorts of, like, he had some unique animations to him, as if he wasn't like controlled by us. It seemed like he was controlled by AI. So I think personally, Cloud, in that segment you're going to play as Sephiroth, and it makes sense because the game is going to be like the same kind of turn-based / real-time gameplay as Remake. So if that's the case, then that means we'll be controlling Sephiroth, because in the last game obviously you controlled Cloud, but you was never able to attack people when you was playing as Cloud, because Sephiroth, his ATB always filled up before Cloud, so he would always make the first move on the enemy and just delete them in one hit. So I think in this case you'll play as Sephiroth, because if Sephiroth becomes an assist character, like let's say you're playing as Cloud and Sephiroth, like for example, what's that guy's name from Integrate, Sonon? Like, you never actually played as him, but you was able to give him commands. I don't think it'll be like that. I think it'll be a case where it'll be like, if they were to make Sephiroth like Red 13 in Remake, where he's there doing things but you can't control him, then Cloud can easily get deleted by these enemies because they're meant to be way stronger than him, right? So if that's the case, it would only make sense for us to control Sephiroth and maybe make Cloud a bit more stronger so he doesn't die, or make him like an assist character that doesn't die. if that makes sense. Like, you don't have no control over his HP, and you just play as Sephiroth and you have all these overpowered skills and just delete these enemies. It's the only way it will make sense, because if they make it, obviously in the turn-based game in Final Fantasy 7 PS1, you controlled Cloud, but it wouldn't make sense in this case, because the idea is for Cloud not to is for you to see how strong Sephiroth is, and in Rebirth it wouldn't make sense for them to kind of let you control Cloud, who can easily get killed by these way stronger enemies. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So that's what I think. I think the game will definitely start off with a cinematic cutscene of Cloud and Sephiroth's little backstory, but then you end up playing as Cloud, or playing as Sephiroth. Maybe a bit of Cloud and Sephiroth. Maybe like during the like talking bits you might be playing as Cloud, but when it comes to like, actually leaving like Nibelheim and going towards the reactor, it will probably be Sephiroth, and that's how it makes sense to me. So yeah, that's where I think the game will start. I think after that, the game will go, obviously from Calm, you go to Chocobo Village, and from Chocobo Village, or Chocobo Farm, whatever, you go to Crystal Caves, where the Midgard-Zolom, you cross the Midgard-Zolom, get to the Crystal Caves, and then you come out the other side, you go to Gongaga, go to Fort Condor, go to Junon, and from Junon to Costa del Sol. Obviously in Junon you'll probably fight Genova, as you probably saw in the trailer, and then you go to Costa del Sol to the mountains by Gold Saucer, and then you get to Gold Saucer. Yeah, you get to Gold Saucer, or the town, what's it called, Coral, the village, Coral. Then you get to Gold Saucer, and after that you find how did they get sent down to the prison again? I can't remember, but you get sent down to the prison, do the Diane and Barrett little backstory stuff, and then from there you would obviously leave Gold Saucer, go towards Cosmo Canyon, do Cosmo Canyon, and then go to Nibelheim. Still, it's actually quite a lot for them to cover. And then from Nibelheim to Rocket City, where you meet Sid, and then I think from there you take the Tiny Bronco all the way to Temple of Ancients, and then do that stuff. I think the game will either end at the Temple of Ancients, or it will end at the Forgotten City or Forbidden City, whatever it's called, where you know what happens. But again, if they don't end it at the Forgotten City or Forbidden City, whatever it's called, you know, the song with that mad theme song, if they don't end the game there, I'm a bit wary that, because the third game, there's meant to be 3 games of remake. It's not meant to be 4 or 5, it's meant to be 3 games. So if that's the case, where would the third game start? There's no way the third game would, like, that. It has to start after it has to start after that moment happens, because if they end at Temple of Ancients, when Cloud gives, spoiler alert, when Cloud gives the black material to Sephiroth, and they end the game there, it doesn't make sense, because then they'll still have a whole load of content to go over in one more game. So I don't see how that makes sense. For me, I think at the Forbidden City or Forgotten City, end the game there, and then whatever the third project will be, whether it's Resurrection, Revenge, whatever the fuck it will be called, then from there we'll do all the Snowy Mountain stuff, maybe, yeah, all the Snowy Mountain stuff, because we still have to go back to Midgar as well. There's a lot to cover. There's no way that this game will end at Temple of Ancients. I was thinking it could, but I think it'll end at Forgotten City. That's what I think. That's personally what I think. Obviously follow me on Twitch, Strifey2, if you want to kind of if whenever a new trailer comes out, we can react to it together. If you want to engage in any Final Fantasy 7 discussions, get on my Discord down below. But I definitely think it will end at the Forgotten City or whatever it's called, because Temple of Ancients is a good place for it to end. But then again, there's still a whole lot of stuff for the third game to cover. If from that point on, we have to return to Junon as well. I've even forgot about that part. So hence why I think it ending at Forbidden City, on that, after that scene, it would make sense. And don't forget, we have to tie in Zack into this as well, because Zack, there's a whole other shit going on with Zack in his timeline, where the gang are dead or almost dead, and Cloud is missing. He's not in that little wreckage. He might be going to Sephiroth, fuck knows. But the issue is the game ends at Temple of Ancients. I won't be mad at it, because it's still a lot of content. But from a storyline perspective, how are they going to fit everything else into the third game? considering that they need to open up the world even more because we're going to get the high wind. That's why I think Rebirth ending at Forbidden City makes sense, because then you can go through all of the other stuff like the Snow Mountains, Junon, like going back to Junon, Midgar. I'm not saying it in order. And then when you get the high wind up, like around the time when the medieval stuff happens and the weapons come out, then you're able to free roam and fully explore the world. But I genuinely don't think it will be a case where the game will end at Temple of Ages. I don't think so. I really don't think so. I'm curious to see what you guys think, but I don't think so. Any Final Fantasy VII fans that watch this, that are really invested into Rebirth like me, I'm really curious to see where you guys will think the game will end, because I don't think it's going to end. I think it's going to end at the Forbidden City, because it makes sense from a storyline perspective to do that. I mean, if it does end at, as I said, if it ends at the Temple of Ancients, I ain't going to be mad. Like, that's still a lot of content, that's a lot of world building, a lot of gameplay. Do you get it? But the problem is that, what if, will they have enough resources, and will they be able to cover everything else from that point on in the third game? I don't know, because if you're looking at it if you're comparing PS1, I know it's a whole different game in terms of sizing and stuff, but Disc 1 literally covered all of Midgar and up to that scene. After that scene, that's when you put in Disc 2, and then you do all the mountain stuff and then all that shit. And then Disc 3 is like quite short, to be fair. Disc 3 is really short, but it makes sense. So I don't know. I don't know, man. But I definitely think at the Forbidden City it would make sense to end there. If it doesn't, as I said, I won't be mad, but that's just my little hypothesis. I think it's going to end there, because ending it at Temple of Ancients just might be a bit too sticky for the third game. It will be too much content to cover, especially as detailed as they've made this game already for remake. They've made remakes so, like, they were able to flesh out Midgar so much that it filled up a whole game. I didn't think when they released remake, obviously I knew it was going to be Midgar, because we knew that the game was going to cover the whole of Midgar. But the point is that, like, I would never have expected it to be a thing where it can fill up all of Midgar, like use the whole Midgar thing to fill up one game, when in the past Midgar was like a good half of the first disc. So, but obviously they added extra content and stuff to flesh out. So if we're wanting them to do that again for Rebirth in a healthy way, it would make sense for them to do it up to Forbidden City, because Disc 3 or third game will have too much content to cover, where it might even get rushed, or it might have not as much fleshed out elements like remake or Rebirth will have, or would have, or would have had, if that makes sense. So I personally don't think they'll end it at the Temple of Ancients. That's just me personally, but I'm curious to know what you guys think. I really want to open up some discussions. So as I said, my Discord's down below, and my Twitch is StrifeV2. Same as most of my socials up there as well. We really want to see what you guys' opinions are, man. As they release more trailers, we're gonna get on that. So as I'm saying, definitely follow the Discord, so when I go live, you guys will know, and we can jump in together. We can even jump on a group call. I'm happy to do that. I am bougie. Like, obviously this is a new channel to me. Like, I've had this channel for like 6 months, and I've only been actively on it now, so I'm down for that. But hey, Rebirth is gonna be a very good game. It's going to be a very, very, very good game, and I'm so passionate about this series. It's in my name, for God's sake. Like, my name is not Strife just because of Cloud. There's other reasons to it, but it's a big part of my childhood. I'm 26, a big part of my life. Final Fantasy VII, it's a big aspect of my gaming life specifically as well. So yeah, I guess another conversation we could have, I guess we'll save it for another time, but I'll definitely want to have conversations on what they're going to do with the open world, because, like, are they going to make it a fully open world, or are they going to make it like maybe Final Fantasy 16, where it's like closed zones that kind of link to each other, similar to 12, Final Fantasy 12 as well. That's a whole another conversation, but I think we should save that for another video. So that's what we'll do. If you guys enjoyed the video, leave a like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you guys think about Rebirth, and if you're excited, because I'm so excited. I had a whole breakdown for the trailer recorded, but then it just corrupted on me literally today. So sorry. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed the video, leave a like, comment, subscribe. Get out my Discord below, and my Twitch, StrifeV2. You can follow my other socials if you want. Yeah, and I'll catch you guys in a bit. Take care.